by Sunbeam, the best electric appliances made. The Deluxe Sunbeam Mixmaster Food Mixer and Sunbeam Time. New slimline beauty and new dimensions in time for every room in your home. Now, let's all play What's My Line?
And now let's meet our award-winning panel of What's My Line. First, a popular columnist whose voice of Broadway appears in papers coast to coast, Miss Dorothy Kilgallen.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. And now it's great fun to have back with us again a wonderful, brilliant young comedian who is opening this Thursday night at Basin Street East, Mr. Mort Saul.
And on my left, I predict that we will soon see the most brightest girl I know, but she's also the most attractive girl I know, and I don't love her for her soul alone, Arlene Francis.
Thank you, Mort. And now our dearly beloved, who publishes some of the very best books in the world at Random House, Mr. Bennett Cerf.
Here, back from the Valley of Decision, ready to lead us up those usual tortuous garden paths again, is John Charles Daly.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and good evening, Dorothy Kilgallen. Nice to have you back again in your place on the panel. Nice to have Mort Saul here, who last night did a commentary on the current scene at the Overseas Press Club annual awards dinner that practically broke up the house on the Waldorf Astoria while he did it. It was excellent, Mort. Nice to have you with us. And we're up to our old tricks. Bennett's had a rest recently, as you know, which hasn't changed him very much. And as for the rest of the panel, we have no mercy on them either tonight. We'll also have a famous mystery guest before the panel a little bit later in the show, and we'll meet our first challenger after this word.
Fan to apples. Choose smart. Go to taxact.com. Where do you do your taxes?
And now let's meet our first challenger. Will you come in and sign in, please? Vivian Surrat. Is that right? Is it Miss or Mrs.?
Miss.
Miss Surrat. Miss Surrat, may I present the panel? Panel, Miss Surrat, will you join me over here, please? Miss Surrat, where are you from, by the way?
Baxter Springs, Kansas.
Baxter Springs, Kansas. Did they see What's My Line out there often enough so that you know how we keep score?
Yes.
All right, then we'll let the folks at home and those who've joined us in the theater know exactly what your line is. Panel, we can tell you that Miss Surrat is self-employed, and let's put Bennett Cerf to work.
Miss Surrat, Kansas is a famous farming state. Have you got anything whatever to do with agriculture?
No.
John is dubious.
Farming, I mean, by that I
Well,
mean
actually, it may have a small conference. That's what I wanted to do anyway.
Yeah.
Bennett, presuming that you asked the question in its broadest possible sense, I think it would be slightly unfair to deny that there is not some relationship to the broad general area of farming involved in the activity which brought Miss Surrat here tonight. So we'll give you a qualified yes.
Thank you, John. Is there a product involved in what you do, Miss Surrat? Is this a product that you produce or raise?
Yes.
Has this product at any time ever been alive?
No.
1 down and 9 to go, Miss Kilgallen.
Is it a manufactured product, then? Yes. It is something other than a vegetable which grows out of the ground? Yes. Is it a useful object? Yes. Could anyone...
Let me say here, so again you're not misled, that this is a product which in this particular term of reference has definite use, but this does not suggest it would always be considered useful. It might have another connotation.
Would it be amusing and decorative as well as useful?
Pardon me?
Would it be amusing or decorative as well as useful?
No.
Well, small conference.
Like this.
Miss Surrat will agree that there is a possibility that the end product of her labors might be used with a sense of decoration.
And Miss Surrat, I know you don't know us very well, but would it be likely that any one of us on the panel would have one of your products or a similar one made somewhere else, perhaps?
Possible.
If we owned one of these things, would we be likely to own just one rather than a dozen or more?
No, not necessarily.
Not necessarily, but by the same token, if we admit to the possibility of your ownership, it's possible that you might have only one.
You could just have one. It
That's
wouldn't
right.
be silly.
It would depend on your general interest in the general area that we're ultimately going to uncover here.
Hello? What?
Is this product solid rather than liquid?
Yes.
Is it consumed in any way? Is it used up?
No, that's 2 down and 8 to go, Mr. Saul.
Oh, here I am sitting wearing the house tie. No. Does it keep things from growing?
Does
No.
it keep things
I'm
from
referring to the
growing?
earlier
No.
part of the
3
show.
down and 7 to go, Miss Francis.
Is it a product that would be used in any way in association with any kind of an animal?
Yes.
Would it be used with a 4-legged animal?
Yes.
Would it be something that might be put onto the animal?
No.
4 down and 6 to go, Mr. Sir.
Would it be something, Miss Surrat, that contributed to the animal's growth or well-being?
No.
5 down and 5 to go, Miss Kilgallen.
Would it be something that the animal had that was not an absolute necessity, but that the animal would use rather than the person who owned the animal?
No.
No, that's 6 down and 4 to go, Mr. Saul.
Do you have to transport it in order to distribute it to the animal? What show are you on, John? What planet am I on?
Maud, if we tried to give you even a reasonable reply in the context of the reply that must come to you, we'd all be so confused. You'd be sorry, I'd be sorry, so we'd just give you a no.
I can't help you.
7 down and 3 to go, Miss Francis.
Some of the questions have been so involved that I don't quite understand what...
You may have a 30-second comment.
I didn't understand what Dorothy meant. She's quite right.
Would you listen in on this, because I'm not sure I understood, but as I got the answer to my last question,
Yes.
this object which is produced by our guest is not used by the animal itself, it is used by the owner in connection with the animal. Is that correct?
That is a very fine piece of deduction.
But the animal uses it too.
No, that's what no, in other words...
Then why did we bring the animal up?
It isn't a dog...
The conference...
in other words, it's not a dog bowl, but it might be something you combed a dog with or brushed a dog with, or I don't know, it could be a horse, I don't know.
Well, could it be something
Another
that...
idea.
The conference
Would
period
it be
is over.
possible, I am not saying this is it, but could it be something like, only to clarify what Dorothy said for myself, could it be something an animal could lie on? Could it be a mattress or a stall or anything like that?
No.
That's
Couldn't be
8
anything like that.
No, that's 8 down and 2 to
What
go,
the heck is the
Mr.
use of
Sir.
knowing it's an
Now,
animal?
Miss Surrat, you said that it didn't contribute to the animal's well-being or growth. Might it, however, have something to do with transporting the animal from one place to another or leading it?
No.
9 down and 1 to go, Miss Kilgallen.
Do you want to have another? All right, go ahead.
Well, I'd just like to ask one question, which I think is fairly safe. Is this something which is used by a person in connection with an animal?
Yes.
A 4-legged animal?
Yes.
Okay, Arlene, I'd like to have a conference.
Maybe it
You
has
have a
something to do with
30-second
milking
cut.
an animal.
Maybe
You
it
could
does.
milk a...
Is this animal larger than a poodle?
Yes.
Is it a farm-type animal?
Yes.
Is it a dairy farm-type animal?
No.
Sorry, Dorothy.
Okay. Good try.
Well, now here again, you see, we're caught up. Is it a dairy farm type animal?
Lots of animals there on dairy farms,
That
John.
would include lambs that you might curry favor with.
What?
Or dogs who might haul, or horses who might haul.
Paul,
How are you going to keep them down?
Horses might haul.
you've got another question left, though, haven't you?
No.
Dorothy, we're caught up in very precise semantics here, but you
Don't
said
think
a
we are a
dairy
little caught
farm type animal. On that basis, we give you a qualified yes.
All right. Is it bigger? Is it taller than a cow?
Taller?
Higher than a cow? Higher than a cow?
That's fine. Thank you.
Okay.
10 down and no more to go, and I'm glad we got over that one.
pig.
Miss Surrat is a cattle photographer. She does nothing but take photographs of cattle for sales catalogs and presentation purposes, and I thought you were going to get close to it. It's a very tricky one.
Catalog.
You're the cow's Richard Avedon.
But it was a very tricky one, panel, and I think you got close to it, and you should be congratulated on that.
We didn't feel we got close to it.
Congratulations, everyone.
Well, I was trying to be kind. Well, Miss Surrat, thank you very much for bringing a very puzzling occupation, and nice to have you on What's My Line. That's only a sample, panel. Don't despair. It gets worse. And now will our next